And we are back to What Did AI Say? At VickyL-4AI on YouTube. Thank you so very much for coming back to the podcast. Gratitude is always the attitude. Let's go ahead and jump right into today's question, episode number 87. We're going to start with ChatGPT's answer. And what did we ask AI? Here we go. What is the best way to protect your anonymity and privacy online? That's a good one. What is the best way to protect your anonymity and privacy online? Okay, what did ChatGPT have to say? Protecting your anonymity and privacy online isn't about one magic tool. Okay? It's about layering habits, tools, and awareness. Think of it as reducing how much of yourself you leak rather than becoming completely invisible, which is extremely difficult in practice. Here's what actually makes a meaningful difference. 1. Control what you share, which is something that is mostly overlooked. The biggest privacy leaks come from you yourself, not hackers. Avoid posting personal details, full name, location, routines, workplace, etc. Be very cautious with quizzes or fun apps and surveys because they collect data. Don't reuse usernames across platforms if you want separation. 2. Use strong, unique passwords. Use a password manager like they have example here, Bitwarden or 1Password, and there are others. I would not recommend the one on Google. Every account should have a different password. Enable two-factor authentication, 2FA, wherever possible. Prefer app-based over SMS. Okay, so that means prefer to use anything else but receiving a text message via your regular messaging on your phone. 3. Secure your internet connection. This is a big one. Avoid sensitive activity on public Wi-Fi. Use a VPN that helps hide your IP from websites and your ISP. Okay, I'm going to have to chime in here because not all VPNs do this. And let's see if they'll go into detail as to which ones do. I know a lot of people say get a VPN, you got to get a VPN, but not all VPNs will hide your IP and your websites or your ISP. They all don't do it. So you have to make sure that you read the fine print before you go into any type of contract with these VPNs. Make sure that you are getting the protection that you think you're getting. Okay, let's continue. Just wanted to give that public announcement real quick. Okay. Not perfect anonymity, but reduces tracking. At home, use a strong Wi-Fi password and WPA3, WPA2 encryption. 4. Now the WPA3, WPA2, for some reason I thought that was a standard characteristic of Wi-Fi or even your phone. I thought that they automatically did that, but I'm not a computer geek like some that I know, so maybe I'm incorrect there. But I did think that was a feature in different accesses to the internet. Okay, 4. Use privacy-focused browsing browsers. This is a big one. Firefox or Brave, search engines, DuckDuckGo, Start Page. Install extensions like uBlock Origin, blocks trackers and ads, Privacy Badger. Also, regularly clear cookies or use private browsing. Regularly clear cookies. And I would also add, always clear your history. Always clear your history. That's something that sometimes I'll get lazy about, and then I have to go in and just clean it up, but clear your history. Another thing that I do as well is when I do research and I take like screenshots of different things, most of the time, if I've used it, I delete it. And if it's something that I want to keep, I constantly download all of my phone's information to my laptop so that I can keep my phone as bare as possible. That's just me. I don't like having a lot of stuff on my phone. I like it on my laptop because I feel like my laptop is, I'm not going to say it's unpenetrable, but I feel like it's definitely a little harder to get to than my cell phone is. So, again, that's just something that I do. Okay, let's continue. Consider separating activities. For example, one browser for personal and one browser for anonymous use. Okay, that's interesting. I think most of the time I do search in, well, yeah. I don't use browsers that don't protect my searching, and like I said, I always delete my history. So 5, limit big tech tracking. Oh my gosh, this is a big one. Turn off ad personalization in Google, Facebook, etc. Oh my gosh, do it. Do not allow these people to personalize your ads. Review app permissions. For example, location, mic, camera. If you have, one thing that I do, if you have apps that you never use your mic or your camera in, don't even, or your location, yeah, most definitely don't even activate that. Or if it's automatically activated, deactivate it. And then just remember, because some apps you just want to look at things, or a lot of times your friends might send you something you want to look at, and so you have to go into the app, but outside of that you really don't use it. So why have it reporting your location and having access to your mic and your camera if you don't even use it like that? Shut that stuff off. Okay, let's continue. Remove apps you don't use. Okay. Use operating system privacy settings. Yes, absolutely. Android and iOS both have these. Number 6, protect your identity layers. If you want stronger, excuse me, anon- anonymity, use separate email accounts. Okay, that's a good one. One for banking, one for social, one for signups. That's excellent advice. Consider alias emails. Yeah, they don't even have to be alias. They can just not be in your name, like maybe in your business name, or maybe in something else that something else that you like, but just not always in your name. Like simple login. Use messaging apps with end-to-end encryption. Signal is a strong option. 7, be careful with files and metadata. Photos often contain location data, EXIF. If you don't go in and shut that off in your phone, your photos will have location data on them. So you have to shut that off. Remove metadata before sharing images or documents. Avoid posting documents that reveal hidden details like names, timestamps, device info. Yes, most definitely. 8, understand phishing and social engineering. Most hacks are actually tricks. Don't click unknown links. Absolutely. Especially when they send this is the next one. Verify emails asking for login info or urgency. Check URLs carefully. Fake sites look real. Okay, what I was going to say, I thought they were going to touch on it in the verify emails thing, but they didn't. But one thing that I have noticed that I get a lot of, or was getting a lot of, until I'd never clicked on them. So then they finally just stopped sending them. But I would get a lot of emails talking about purchase receipt, a copy of my purchase receipt from all different companies or all different fake companies. I never clicked on them because I know that I didn't purchase the things that were the things that were coming from these particular companies. So I didn't ever click on them. But when I was talking to a friend and I just mentioned it, she was like, "Oh, you know what? I get those too." And I know I didn't buy anything. And I said, "Have you ever clicked on it?" She was like, "No, I just deleted." So I mean, again, they're doing all kind of things to try to get you to click on something that you probably shouldn't be clicking on. So don't be in your email all happy-go-lucky. Just make sure that you're checking and being sure that you're not opening anything that that comes from someplace that you're not familiar with. There you go. So don't open anything that comes from someplace that you're not familiar with. A name, even if it has a name. I've had ones that have had a name of a person, had a business name. It had all different kind of things. It's been all different kind of things. But just don't open them. Just delete them. Okay. And you know what's so funny too is that I have my spam on, and my spam doesn't even pick those up, which I find extremely interesting how they're getting through the spam. That's something I have to look into. Okay, let's continue. For higher level anonymity, more advanced. If you're trying to be significantly harder to track, use Tor browser, one of my favorites, although it can be slow. Routes traffic through multiple nodes. Yes, it does. Use separate devices or user profiles for different identities. Yes. Avoid logging into personal accounts while trying to stay anonymous. Now, that is a big one because a lot of times you forget. You forget that you're trying to stay anonymous, and then you want to go into your Facebook page and you got to be like, "Oh, no, I can't do it from here because this is." So just, it protecting your privacy and your anonymity online isn't an easy thing, but I think that if you make a conscious effort to do it, you'll be happier in the long run, because I think that a lot of changes are coming, and you just want to make sure that you can't be found so easily from all of the different online applications that you have a page on. And I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. It's like, just like when people live a certain place, they don't want to share anything that has their home address on it because you don't want people coming to your house. It's the same thing with online. Don't be sharing all your personal information because you don't want people looking for you, pulling up your stuff. So, I mean, okay, let's continue. 10, accept the reality. Complete anonymity online is extremely hard because devices fingerprint you, screen size, fonts, behavior. Not if you don't do that. Platforms track patterns, not just identity. Governments and large companies have deep visibility. The goal isn't perfection, it's reducing your exposure and control over your data. If you want, and this is a Chatgpt summary, if you want, it can tailor this to your situation. For example, I just want basic privacy versus I want to stay anonymous from corporations versus I need high level anonymity. Each level has a very different setup. Okay, so I don't know if that's something that you want to go. Well, I mean, you can see what ChatGPT has to say, but don't. If ChatGPT says, yeah, and here's our service to make you anonymous, don't fall for it. Do not fall for it. Okay, I thought that was pretty basic, but it gave you some decent information. Let's go ahead and see what Deepseek had to say. Just in case you forgot the question, allow me to repeat it. What is the best way to protect your anonymity and privacy online? Okay, let's go ahead and read Deepseek's answer. This is an excellent question, but the best way depends on your specific threat model. Who who you hiding from and why? I don't know that you got to be hiding from anybody, but that's funny. Okay, with that said, for strong, practical privacy, a defense in depth approach works best. Okay, here's a streamlined, high impact strategy. This seems very entertaining. Okay, one, use a privacy respecting browser and search engine. Okay, that's the same thing that ChatGPT told us. Let's continue. Browser, Mozilla Firefox, okay, hardened or Brave. Avoid Chrome, Edge, Safari. Configure Firefox to block trackers, disable telemetry, and use containers to isolate sites. Oh, wow. Disable telemetry. I didn't even know. I'm going to have to check that. Okay. Let's continue. Search DuckDuckGo, start page, or Brave search. Never use Google or Bing while logged in. Chinese AI tells you never use Google or Bing while logged in. Okay, number two, route your traffic anonymously. Okay, ChatGPT also said that. Use a VPN carefully. No, a paid no log VPN like Mulvad or iVPN hides your IP from websites and your ISP. Okay, so they're actually giving you a name, Mulvad, Mullvad, or iVPN. Those both supposedly hide your IP from websites and your ISP. Crucially, don't use a VPN from a country in the 14 Eyes Alliance. I didn't even know that was a thing. 14 Eyes Alliance. Oh, I'm going to definitely have to do a deeper dive on that. Let me just jot a note down to myself real quick. I have never heard of that. 14 Eyes Alliance. Okay, learn something new every day. Let's continue. Pay with cryptocurrency if possible. Okay, so you pay from your cryptocurrency account, which hopefully is not in any your name or whatever. For extreme anonymity, Tor browser is the gold standard. I love Tor, although it is slow. It can be slow, but I do love it. It bounces your traffic through multiple relays, making you virtually untraceable. But it's slower and some sites block it. Oh yeah, some sites do block it. Oh yeah. Some sites block Firefox too. I think I had a banking site one time that tried to block Firefox, and I just kept trying, and it finally went through. But it did say, I think the first message it gave me was that we don't allow you to log in from that browser. And I was like, what? But I kept trying, and it did. So maybe they just were trying to curtail me from using it. Okay, let's continue. Number three, isolate your identity. Okay, ChatGPT said that as well. Email. Use anonymous email services like Protomail or Tutanota. 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 Okay, Protomail I've heard of. Tutanota I've never heard of. No phone number required. So neither one of those require a phone number. Create unique aliases for every service. Wow, they going all out. Okay, simple login is one, or anonymity. ANONADDY. Okay, phone number. Avoid giving your real number. Use temporary numbers for SMS verification. Okay, I know everybody probably knows how to get your temporary number. For example, Google Voice. If privacy isn't critical or paid, burner services like Burner. Okay, better yet, use apps like Signal or Session for messaging without a phone number at all. Okay, that's good. Okay, number four, lock down accounts and data. Use a password manager. They have Bitwarden, they have Key Pass XC with unique strong passwords for every site. Okay. Enable 2FA. okay, which ChatGPT said as well, that is verification, two-prong verification. Prefer app-based like Aegis or Inte Auth, never SMS if possible. ChatGPT said that too, not SMS. Don't use SMS. And that has to come to your actual phone number anyway. Don't use social media under your real name. If you must, use separate browsers slash containers and never cross link your real identity. Got that? Never cross link your real identity. 5. Control your operating system and device. This is a good one. Use an open source OS such as Linux, like Ubuntu or Fedora, instead of Windows or Mac OS. Yes, get rid of Windows for sure if you can. For maximum anonymity, boot Tails OS from a USB stick. I'm still trying to learn how to do that. That can be tricky. It forces all traffic through Tor and leaves no traces. Some of this stuff I'm still learning because I mean, when you have a situation, well, I'll get into that when we get to how does any of this affect our everyday lives. But yeah, some of this stuff I am still learning, so I'm making a face as though it's a pain because it's new, not because it's not a good idea. It's because it's new, and I'm having to readjust my entire system, my entire process in order to incorporate the new things that I have done to protect myself. Okay, let's continue. Cover your webcam always. Mute microphones always when not needed. There you go. We already talked about that. And consider a Faraday bag for your phone if you need location privacy. I've never used a Faraday bag, and but I do like the principle of it blocking your signals so that your location can't be. They have the sticker too. There's the bag, but they also now have a sticker that is you're supposed to be able to put it on the back of your phone, and it also blocks your location from being picked up. So, I mean, interesting. 6, let's continue. Reduce digital footprints. Disable location services. We talked about that. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi scanning when not in use. A lot of people will leave their Wi-Fi and their Bluetooth on. Do not do that. If you leave your home and you are not using your Bluetooth in your car, you're not using your Wi-Fi, shut that off until you get someplace where you want to use it, then turn it on. Get in the habit of turning off your Bluetooth and turning off your Wi-Fi. Okay, let's continue. Regularly clear cookies and browsing data. Advocate for that. Clear your cookies and your browsing data all the time, every day. Or use auto-deleting containers. Opt out of data brokers manually or use services like Incogni, which is a paid service. Okay. Important reality check. This is going to be good from Deepseek. No solution is 100%. We know that. Government, sophisticated attackers, or your own mistakes logging into real accounts over Tor can de-anonymize you. De-anonymize you. Okay, de-anonymize you. Convenience versus privacy is a trade-off, and that's what we were talking about earlier. You forget because you're so accustomed to just going into everything from one thing that now you have to train your mind to, if you're doing something that you want private, do it in your privacy. If you're doing something that you don't care, do it in the other one, but don't, while you're in the privacy, try to do something you don't care. So it just takes some retraining of your mind, and it's not inconvenient. Well, I mean, it is, because you can't just do what you want all willy-nilly. You have to retrain your mind to protect yourself. And so, until you actually get to the point where you automatically do it, it's going to be a little bit of I got to get out of here and go back to there. But I mean, once you get accustomed to it, then you won't even think about it in that way. Okay. Convenience versus privacy is a trade-off. Hardened privacy makes everyday browsing slower and more cumbersome. Treat model matters. I'm sorry, threat model matters. Hiding from advertisers is easy. Hiding from a state level adversary requires Tor plus tails plus never reusing identities. Oh wow, they going deep. Okay, no, that's it. Okay, so start simple, install Firefox plus uBlock Origin plus DuckDuckGo. Use a reputable VPN and stop using Chrome and or Google. That alone puts you ahead of 95% of users. Let me reread that because that is vital. Start simple. Install Firefox plus uBlock Origin plus DuckDuckGo. Use a reputable VPN and stop using Chrome and or Google. That alone puts you ahead of 95% of other users. So just doing that puts you ahead of 95. That means that those hackers will get those other 95% before they get you. Hey, that's just a way to think about it that might motivate you to start protecting yourself a little bit better. Okay, Deepseek's final thought here. If you share your specific concerns with Deepseek, for example, I just want to avoid ads versus I need to evade censorship, it can tailor further advice for you, more specific to your need. Okay, so there you have it. That was pretty good. That was very good. Okay, so how does any of this affect our daily lives? Well, if you have been in a situation where someone has tried to steal your identity, you become a little bit leery about things. And it was, for me, it was that. And also, I ended up having to replace a hard drive and a laptop. And just decided that I wanted to go off grid, so to speak. Off grid. So, no more Windows. I did the Linux. And I thought it was going to be extremely difficult, but it wasn't. It was more so cumbersome, but not difficult. And I'm not a computer person. I mean, I have my, I have the things that I'm really good at, and I mean, I can, follow instructions and get things done when I have to. But I was under the pretense that I would need to have some type of computer technical, advanced technicality, but in reality, I didn't. If you can follow instructions sometimes to the T, or if you, and sometimes even following instructions to the T doesn't help in the case of computers because a lot of it does depend on your laptop or your computer or whatever device you're using and that device. So you also have to be versatile. Whereas if it doesn't work for you, you're able to go online and pull up your specific advice and then follow instructions from there as to how to get that application to work on your device. So, not difficult, extremely cumbersome, and time consuming. But as I look back now, it was worth it. I'm glad that I'm not on Windows anymore. Again, whenever I want to get different applications, it does require additional investigation because, they Gates Foundation made Windows so simple to keep people from they make it simple because they know that people want ease, they want simplicity. And so you're more apt to stay on Windows because you can connect everything to it and it's so easy. But the whole point is that Windows is going to be, if it is being used to track you, it's also enslaving you because the more you continue to use it, the more systems you connect to it. And then you look at your situation as never being able to disconnect from Windows, which is not the case. So, like I said, when you want to connect different systems to Linux, You would be surprised at how many systems do have Linux as an option. And you just don't know because you're so accustomed to using Windows and it automatically does it for you. But we have to get out of that wanting ease over our freedom. And I mean, that's where we are right now. We've taken ease over our freedom and become enslaved to these mega corporations that care nothing about us but getting our money. And so if we want to free ourselves, we have got to make the decision to maybe go the hard road versus the easy road if it's going to keep us freer longer. Okay, let's move on to our positive saying. Oh my gosh, I've gone so far over. I didn't think that was that long. Goodness gracious. Okay, our positive saying for today is going to come from a person by the name of Tracy Malone. Not sure if that's a female or a male, but the person is a writer and an advocate for narcissist abuse recovery. And she said, once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. Once you become fearless, life becomes limitless. I like that. That's awesome to me. That is so awesome. Okay. Thank you so very much for giving me about 32 minutes of your time. If you haven't already, like and subscribe to the channel and stop just watching and stealing the material. I see you. I see you. Okay. We the people have the power. See you next episode. Peace.